especially when you have a lot of people. Oh my gosh, I didn't even count. I'm so sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Someone hiding. I can't see him. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13!
자를 눌러쓰고 이리저리 부딪혀 봐도 관심도 없는 넌 예쁘고 참 나쁘다 그래 쓰러져가는 망가져가는.
Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're going to be taking a look at 17's choreography video entitled 몰차를 눌러쓰고. I don't know what the English translation of that is, and that's okay. Maybe if I do a little scrolling, I'll kind of know without you, possibly, maybe, we'll see. Definitely excited. I'm on a marathon of 17, living my life over here in the beautiful wintry months, just getting to cozy up next to a K-pop group's excellent synchronicity as well as musicality and comprehension of concept. So I'm definitely excited to take a look at this. Let's go ahead and check it out. This looks so sad. The choreography video. Ooh, right after that. Oh, we're getting to the world of visuals, everybody. This is a 17 ballad if I ever saw one. Look at that little Rana job. Simple but effective.
차라리 그게 더 마음 편할 것 같아 매번 다 잡아도 고민의 끝은 똑같아 됐어 이거나 안 해 거기 있다는 걸 이제 알아 그걸 한다는 게 너무나 아파 아무렇지 않다 그 말하는 것조차
Oh, that was cool.
생각나는 것만으로도 이렇게 아플 내가 모자를 눌러쓰고 이리저리 부딪혀 아파도 관심도 없는 넌 예쁘고 참 나쁘다 그래 쓰러져가는 망가져가는 널 이제 두렵지 않아 네가 오기 전 그날까지만 변해볼까 해 변해볼까 해
I really saw the height difference right there. I know I've like heard about it. It's the first time I saw it like that drastic. Love the build up of energy here. Wow. That was the simplest, but it was so effective. The visuals are great. I would say the formations, I know, especially since the type of track that it is, I really enjoy the fact that they really did a less is more approach. I completely appropriate to this because we do know them as having such intricacies within their craft, and the syncopation and the polyrhythmic expression is so nice. And I really love the fact they included this at the beginning, so it helps signify to us that this is an extension on to it's like a sequel to what we just saw for this track, and I just love it. And then it just goes, having one of them drop. Most of this is going to be actually based on formations and visuals more so than the choreography, because there's really not a ton of choreography. But just look at the subtlety of your first feature, just dropping his hand and everybody being so still in stature. And that is exactly what you want. And he's able to just drop his hand. Everybody has to drop their hand at the exact same rate, folding it down at the exact same rate in order for it to be just as effective as you need it to be. Love it. He's the only one that's kind of vibing or rotating. So what he's doing is he's placing his weight and shifting it, but trying to keep everything locked up, but not making it so locked up that it looks like a swinging pendulum. It just kind of, he probably allows his, they allow their shoulders to be, because that's what I was looking at. Sometimes people use the hips, but it creates a more legato body roll that ends up happening. But here, if you lead with the shoulders, you're gonna lead with that hinge, but not be so overly tight and tense in your torso. So that's why that looks effective. They're shifting their weight over, but also look at they're looking and they're longing on the sides, which is really nice. I would say my only note is some of them are downcast and some of them are looking and searching. So I wonder if that's just a preference or if they were supposed to all be on the same page there. Don't know, but it still looks great though. This was nice. So I'm going to talk about it before we see it. Or actually, I may just let it play while I talk about it. But just having each feature come out to really frame this up, and they're setting and then end up setting a 2-line formation, but they're just walking on tempo together. Really important that they do that, dragging of the foot, having everybody kind of hold, downcast, a little bit worn, that kind of approach. Now, everybody is adding a sense of movement when it's their time to be featured. I think there was only one of them that didn't really bring that. I would say it is my guy right here, because it felt like Where's Waldo a little bit of who's the vocalist here. He's my guy that should be singing right now, but he barely does anything. The first time you would technically see him is when he puts his hand to his chest, which is about right here. Yeah, and I feel like that's a little too long. He should have presented himself a little bit more, especially if he's the back row of a formation that's being set like this. And there's also motion that's currently taking place. You don't want your audience to be taken away from what you yourself are singing, especially if you're projecting front. And it would make sense if you're looking over to them. That would make more sense why you would want your audience to look over there. But because that's not the case, that would be my one note for my feature right there, just to use a little bit more motions and expression. Because what's funny is we go from 0 to 100 in features, because as soon as he finishes, howdy there, neighbor, he sets it up. Do you see that star power that takes place right there? It's great, but that's just like, this is your 0, and this is your 100. There's no, and this is your in-between. Here's your dash. But my point stands is that if you really want, this is the trickiest to establish features, but also it's the most simplest breather kind of choreo you can do, but still being captivating. It is, you got to know how to placate to your audience and use psychology to be able to help them know where you want them to look. And so in this case, he would have needed to do more, but if he did more, maybe this wouldn't have been such a drastic shift in energy here. I think what he did is great. I think it's building up, because how his tone matches and justifies what he's doing. But right here, even here, you can tell the only reason why he was able to get away with it is because he used his hands and he's directly in front of the feature you just saw. So not as much to look drapery wise in your feature. This right here, da-da-da, right here, and then they reverse it down the back. See if I can do this. They go here, they look at it as they drape down, boom, 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 bring it around, go in, and then they reverse it. I just love the fact that it feels like I can just follow along. And I love it because I understand the tension that's here. It's very placed. Bring it around the back, boom, in the intention. I don't think they go there. I think they bring it around here. But they look at it, and then they go boom, boom, boom. That's what makes it captivating. It's not just this movement is happening and they're just looking front. It's either doing it and they're engaging themselves in it. That is a fun fact. Whenever you watch dancers who do choreography or freestylers, something that you can look at to show their fluency of their craft is this, especially in choreography. If dancers are not gluing their eyes to the front whenever they're doing choreography, is a really good sign that they're comfortable in what they're executing, because you don't have to look at the mirror as a form of subconscious validation of, am I doing this right? Because that's a lot of times what we train our brains to do, because when we clean routines, especially for me on Sundays, I have one of the studios I work with, that's all I do is I clean their competition routines. We go in, take a look at their routine, and we have a mirror. And then the big day is when we're focusing more on performance and how is this going to fare on competition stage, because there's no mirrors. Mirrors are there to audit, not quite to not to showcase performance and presence, if that makes sense. So that's just a fun little fact. If you're somebody who likes dancing but doesn't have a mirror, fear not. It's a double-edged sword, having a mirror when you practice. So I will say it's nice that they covered up the mirrors here. I know the reflection is a bit brutal whenever you have the mirrors on, but it does help you be able to captivate in your performance, and this is going to be a more true reflection of what you bring to the table live. But having this course here is just the resistance of it feels like they're doing a Ranajam, but they kind of reverse it around. A Ranajam, not on layer, Ranajam, on day or, that's what it is. Not on day done, on day or, Ranajam. My brain, that took me, shame on me, took me way too long to figure that out. Okay. But they're building it up by having one of our features just subtly walk across, expressing himself. But he's still walking on tempo. They created a nice energy that presented over to the left side. That was nice having two people stay up. Everybody dropped down. But slow motion, like slow. They do a good job of doing accents with a slow tension to come out of it. Really great transition choices they chose here. That right there. Boom. And just simple walkbacks. One, head. You see how subtle that is? Boom, 2, 3, 4. So what they thought of is they used the head, top and bottom as your checkpoints, as your counts, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4. What they did is the one thing that I've been critiquing them on the entire time I've been reacting to them is their range of their content needs to be more refined if they want to look like robots. Now, I'm glad they don't look like robots because they're humans, but they're pretty close. When it comes to the synchronicity of it, they would score well in a choreography competition. That's how clean we're talking. Now, what's nice here is that the points are right where they need to be, but they establish them clearly regardless of height. They also were able to crack the code on the dynamics of how to go from point A to point B in a way that is still in unison while also keeping the walks in unison. And because they're collaborative together and everyone's doing the same thing, it was very clear to see that intimate, subtle moment, especially when you have a lot of people. Oh my gosh, I didn't even count. I'm so sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Someone hiding. I can't see him. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13! There we go. We got all 13. Did a little overhead, melt it down. We had already seen that before. Melting through, love it. The turnaround. Look at the trench coat getting its own feature. Look at that. Yeah, dun, dun, dun. He has this like majestic quality. I think it's the trench coat, gonna be honest. But that was nice body roll with an accent to bring it down, boom, to each side. It's subtle and effective. They're probably like, thank God we are doing this choreo for this track. They need a break. This is their breather song. Let's call it what it is. This is their song to serenade while also catching their breath. Love it. This was really nice. I've seen these types of walks or disappearances, but it's just really tasteful and it's done well. I love the overhang. I love that all he did was walk and they draped down. That's just so simple, but it's so nice. He's looking, recognizing that they're there, but not making it a thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely, they keep the collaboration between the features in them. I love it. They peeled it from back to front instead of front to back. That was a really nice choice. Normally, people would go front to back, especially if your feature's walking backwards, but I like kind of having the reversal because whenever they drape in, it feels like a moment. I really like my feature coming out here. Normally it would bother me a lot more when they choose to step in when your next feature steps out, but it doesn't quite bother me here, probably because of the justification of their cleanliness and their concept from the forefront. It makes me more forgiving on the intentionality of how they bring themselves to the table here. You know, so this is just a really nice moment. He's walking forward, and I love the fact that they end up in a different spot than they started with. That's what I think my favorite aspect about it, which is why it feels really tasteful. Like here, he takes them and drapes them back like they're shades on a window, you know? And then he disappears in the back here, and I just like that because it adds a level of complexity. Normally, when you see people that are featured, they disappear in the same part of the line, but here they're changing when they're coming in and out of the line, and that's what makes it, I think, more forgiving on that type of transition, in my humble opinion. Having him come out was super nice. When he came in, they all branched out. It was nice that my feature here, he chose to express with his upper body a little bit more. Shows us, even though he is the only one facing front, well, technically we have one guy hanging out over there, but my point still remains in the center. He's the only one facing front and projecting forward, but adding those hands helped us see him sooner so we could really understand his full intention from the get-go of when he wants to be seen. That little switch right there. Now we're back to the chorus. Nice and subtle. Some of them got that, he has more of a playboy stance, not gonna lie. He has that more, I'm reading a book and I'm sad. He gives them more, look at this trench coat and how fabulous it is. His is, join my book club, I own a cat. His is, I am a boyfriend who always has to take pictures, but I'm kind of here for the vibes. He is, I love to go to coffee shops and I sell coffee beans, but also vinyls at the same time. And you can get a discount on one or the other, depending on which shop of mine you go to. And I love the energy because all of them brings that homey vibe. It just kind of depends on what type of lady you are. Oh my gosh. I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. I'm so sorry. I'm having so much fun here. I love it. He branches out. I'm supposed to be talking about the choreography, not about what they remind me of in my real life. Oh my gosh. So it is nice that they do have the same instance where they are building up just like they did in chorus 1, having your feature travel the front, but it's more expanded in the formation in the back, which is why it feels more full in comparison to having the 2 linear lines in the first chorus. I love that. Draping it down, everybody turns, and then you have that cross current feature that happens. Is that, I have a feeling, no, it's not. It's something different. There's normally, I feel like there's like one person who always is the counter current compared to everybody else, but no, it's just different every time. But I like seeing it every time they do it because it is subtly different. They walk slow, slow, and then they pick up the pace, and they go, hey, really subtle. And then instead of stepping back altogether, they turn to face different directions, which I love. And they allow their upper body to be the last thing that moves. That was so cool when they turn, and they turn each other. That's so fun. One of them looked like they low-key assaulted his teammate in the back. Hold on, let's go back so we can all see that together. Ready? So we go watch. He's gonna go, pa! Do you see? It's Hoshi did it. He's assaulting him back there, but he's in the back, so that's why you can't tell. But that's really funny. I wonder if they did that. I wonder if we did that on purpose. It wasn't yearning. It was a straight. That was like a, that was a push. Oh man, that kills me. I love it. They're finishing out and the just framing to the outside, having one person facing front. And then right there, that was nice when they threw the arm and then he's the only one who moved his body over it. It felt very reactionary and I love it. And they face front. Boom. And then they finish it out. Very, very, very simple. But it's not, doesn't mean it's easy, because when you have 13 people trying to look simple and intimate and subtle, it is hard when you don't work on it. But they've already demonstrated debut, since I've seen their debut stuff until now, definitely showing the work ethic, perseverance, and grit of their captivation, of how they're engaging with each other and within the piece. Even though we had a little assault case in the back and just a little bit ago, it doesn't discredit the fact that it's still very, like, it still worked, you know. It was just something I noticed because that it looked a bit extroverted near the back versus the front, but it was a really cool visual to see. But I'm definitely loving this journey, and it I feel like the more I'm watching this, not gonna lie, the more I watch through these eras, the more unhinged I'm gonna become to match the level of energy that I'm seeing from them. And I'm trying hard not to, but it's getting closer to that because I'm really saturating my brain right now with the 17 choreographic textures, movement, qualities, and fingerprints. So it's brutal, but I'm having fun. This is great. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I was helpful in some way. Trekking along on 17, having a great time while at it, whether it is their debut things, concept videos, what have you, funny skits, comics, whatever, in their dance practices. I am here for it, living it up, loving it with the dialogue and discussions with you guys. All of my 17 reactions are available on Patreon exclusively until they have new comebacks, and then that is when these videos get released. So if you are just now seeing this on YouTube, chances are I have all the rest of the 17 reactions already reacted to. And if you are impatient like myself, Patreon has it, so just go crazy. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.